There's also something, I think, somewhat politically ingenious here that is worth taking a second to think about. This bill has just cut taxes, as you said, including a refundable credit, right? Meaning even if you don't owe any money, you still get the money back. But it's created this money that will go to 90% of kids in this country. It's only for 1 year right now, which means, as I understand it, one of the big political fights in 2022 ahead of the midterms will be if Republicans want to raise taxes on the millions of families that have children.
No doubt about it. Do they want to raise taxes on the millions of families that have children? Do they want to double the childhood poverty rate by not making this permanent? So, it's amazing, Chris, to see the polling this week on this provision of the bill. 95% of Democrats support the bill. 73% of Republicans support this provision in the bill. So I think the pressure is going to be enormous. Sherrod Brown and Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and Jon Tester and so many others, Rosa DeLauro in the House and her team over there, done so much to get it to this point, not to mention Joe Biden, who put it in the package. But I think we are in an incredibly good place to make an argument about why we should make it permanent. And if you're running in a state like mine or Ohio or Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, what it means to be somebody who stands up for working people versus somebody who goes to Washington to cut taxes for the richest people in the country when we've got the greatest income inequality that we've had since 1928. That's the contrast between the Biden tax cut and the Trump tax cut.
How do you understand going and explaining this bill now that it's passed? I know the two lessons I can glean that I think Joe Biden, who, of course, was in the Obama administration, a lot of people who served there, was that relief package, the stimulus was not sufficient scale-wise, and that it was not sold well enough, that you sort of passed it and then moved on to the healthcare fight. What do you think about that, about just letting people know, even this basic stuff like COBRA is subsidized, getting the message out about what's in the bill?
Chris, in a way, this is my dream come true. Not that many people noticed that I ran for president, but I did run for president on this child tax credit. And one of the things I said was, I look forward to, when we pass this, to going to red counties in this country and sitting down with farmers and ranchers who in Colorado are among the best mathematicians I know, and saying to them, bring your calculators. And Fox News, you can come, bring your calculators too. And we're going to do a little math exercise to see what this bill does for you compared to what Trump's bill does for you. I'm not going to have the opportunity to do that as the president this time, but Joe Biden will. And I hope he takes this opportunity to go not just to blue places, but to red places, and to show people, to demonstrate why this bill is so beneficial to them. Why it will make such a meaningful difference in their lives, and maybe even help stitch the country back together again. Not because, because we've seen every single Republican voted against this in Washington, even though this provision is supported by 73% of Republicans. Joe Biden will go out and talk to Republicans. He'll talk to Democrats. I think he can bring the country back together by showing them what's in the bill.
Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado, he is correct. In case you were wondering on the fact check, he did run for president in the Democratic primary. I knew that because I interviewed you actually as a candidate. Thank you for making time tonight.
Thanks so much for having me, Chris, and thanks for everybody who's working to strengthen this democracy of ours. We have a lot of work to do, but we're off to an amazing start.
Thank you, Senator.